you for watching. How far away is spring? 3 weeks? Then I'm doing fine. We have a superb show for you today. Charlie Sheen has come to Lindsay Lohan's rescue again. Michael Strahan is demanding a prenup. And you won't believe which A-list celebrity has become a first-time dad at 67 years old. Let's talk about it and more. It's time for Hot Topic. We've got lots to get to. First of all, there are 2 older A-list actors who have babies. One is having a baby. Congratulations to Alec Baldwin and his wife, Hilaria. Well, they're expecting their first child together. You know, he's 54. I can't figure out what he's doing on top of his head. I think it's too dark, right? It's a little too dark. But anyway, he's 54 and she's 28. They got married last summer. You know, he only has one child, a daughter, Ireland, the one he called the dirty little pig. Do you remember the rant on the telephone, on the answering machine? You dirty pig. Well, she's grown up to be quite gorgeous. There she is right there with the blonde hair. And she's 17 years old, and he had that daughter with his ex-wife, Kim Basinger. And now, this is his second child. And like I said, he's 54 years old. 30 Rock is done. So I guess he'll be a stay-at-home dad until he gets phone calls, you know, to do other things. But he's laying on a pile of money. I like this idea. I think it's great. 54 is not too old to become a father. You know? Yeah. After all, she's only 28 years old, you know, and when the baby is old enough to go to college, he'll still be good, 74. You know, I mean, if we live to be 100 years old, then at 74, you're still a fairly young person in this day and age, you know? And she's like, I think, a yoga swami or something like that. So she'll teach him how to eat right and stay, you know, vital and exercise. And then Alec's friend, Steve Martin. Well, he's become a father for the first time at 67. Me no bueno. No, no, no. I don't like this one. I mean, a first-time father, so he has no experience doing anything, and he's 67 years old. Not that 67 is old, but to me, Steve Martin has always been old. Even when he had the arrow through his head, playing Wild and Crazy Guy on SNL, he's like an older guy, you know? But anyway, his wife is 41 years old, and they had a baby in December. So this stayed under the radar. We don't talk much about Steve Martin, so no, we're just finding out in February. Congratulations, old man. I guess a guy can be older. A lot of fathers don't do anything much around the house anyway, whether they have a baby's father or a husband or whatever. The women, we do all the work. Well, anyway. So yesterday I was telling you about how Lindsay Lohan crashed a charity benefit party. Remember I was telling you? She went with her date. There he is. There they are on the red carpet. He looks so interested in her, doesn't he? He's rich, very rich. He's a Saudi entrepreneur. Well, there's more to the story. His invitation to this party was so last minute. And by the way, it happened here in New York. The party was in New York. So last minute that she had to call her friend Charlie Sheen to help her get dressed. I know that sounds ridiculous and random. I'll explain. So, according to Us Weekly, Charlie then personally called, Charlie out in LA, had to call back into New York to his celebrity stylist friend Philip Block, who happens to be in town because it's Fashion Week still in New York. Well, then Philip went to Lindsay's side to dress her just a few hours before the event. Charlie even offered to pay for half of the dress, which, that's odd, right? Now, would that be the top half or the bottom half? He offered to pay half of the dress, so I did some searching. Let's show the dress in full. This dress is by Thea, and it's from the 2011 spring collection. I've never heard of Thea either, but apparently somebody fancy who they sell at like Saks and stuff. The dress was $1,750. But my thought is, what's the point in dieting and being able to jump into anything like a girl like Lindsay with a youthful body? You could have just gone to H&M for $25. You could have snapped something up. I would have rather saved the money on the dress and spent some time on a hairbrush and decent makeup. What is this mud on your cheeks, Lindsay? On your overly puffed cheeks, I might add. A mess. And the dress might be 2 sizes too big. Doesn't it look a little bit larger on her? Like it could be snatched in the back or something like that. Charlie, how did you get involved in all this? But you know, Charlie is Lindsay's friend. Apparently she did thank him for the $100,000 that he gave her to cover her tax debt. So that's an interesting relationship there, isn't it though? We'll keep you posted on what else happens with them. So yesterday I was talking to you about that mean old man, Rex Reed, the movie critic. And by now you've heard this story on other outlets also. He called Melissa McCarthy a hippo and said that she's tractor-sized when he was reviewing her movie, which happens to be #1 at the box office, Identity Thief. And so now Rex is attempting to defend himself. Yesterday he was on the radio here in New York at WOR, and he accused Universal Pictures of fanning the controversy and making it bigger than it is to sell movie tickets to a bad movie. That's what Rex said. So Rex mistakenly, even during his rant, called Melissa McCarthy Melissa Manchester. That's the O in old. Melissa Manchester. And then he added to it. I'll tell you what he said. All right, he says, "My point was that I object to using health issues like obesity as comic talking points. McCarthy is basing her career on being obnoxious and being overweight. And I don't think that's funny. I have too many friends that have died of obesity-related illnesses." Any excuse is better than none. He's been busted being a curmudgeon, and now he's trying to backpedal. Whatever, Rex Reed. Now, Michael Strahan and Nicole Murphy, you know, they have been engaged. It's Eddie. Hi, Eddie. I know you're watching. How you doing? Okay, the beautiful Nicole Murphy with the great boobs and good hair and pretty, pretty eyes and beautiful personality. She was married to Eddie Murphy, but they haven't been married for a very long time, and now she's been engaged to the football player Michael Strahan, who sits alongside Kelly. He's good, isn't he? His chiseled jaw. He looks like he's gonna crush her. You know, when they hold hands and they come out in the morning, he looks like he's gonna crush her. Speaking of hands, his hands are really big. I'm just saying. Anyway, look. So Michael and Nicole have been engaged since 2009. The ring is beautiful. They haven't gotten married yet. And I've been questioning myself, why haven't they gotten married? These are two people of a particular age. You know how when you get a particular age, especially when you're not thinking about having babies or anything like that with a person, you know what you like and you just go for it. So they haven't gotten married yet, and now the Star magazine is reporting that's because Nicole is refusing to sign the prenuptial agreement that Michael is requesting her to sign. But allegedly, Nicole is feeling hurt and thinks that Michael is setting the marriage up for failure with a prenuptial agreement. But Nicole, all I can say is if you don't sign these papers, I can see this relationship being over before August. You know? And it's not like you won't bounce back and get another. It's just that Michael Strahan is good. So are you, Nicole, but I mean, he's good. But here's the thing with Strahan, okay? So he's been married twice before. The first wife got some money from him, so he's still paying some alimony, child support, 2 kids with the first wife. The second wife, that divorce was really nasty. Is anybody here from Montclair, New Jersey? Is anybody here from North Jersey? Look, when they were going through their, I say that because in the streets of Jersey, all of us housewives were talking about this second divorce right here. You could not go to a nail studio, a doctor's appointment, a waiting room, anywhere, a Pilates studio, without talking about the Strahans and what they were going through. Oh, it was really funky. So this is the second wife right here. And I remember she had a garage sale and people were just driving by, just checking out what they have. And she was really mean and bitter and talking to anybody who would listen, and we would all listen. And and they have twins together, Michael and this second wife, but she stuck them up good for $15.3 million. I know. Which at that time was like half of his net worth. And they had a strong prenuptial agreement, but that prenup still got him in the hole. So I understand why he wants to have this prenup with Nicole. They aren't the most romantic thing, Nicole, but business is business. We know you got a couple of coins from Ed. Hi, Eddie. We know you got a couple of coins from Eddie when you all divorced, but we also know, because she tells the story about how, she had like bad business investments, crookedy business partners or whatever, and she lost a lot of that. But if you lose Strahan, you're losing the mother load. He works with Kelly. He flies out on the weekend and talks that football talk someplace else. He's so endorsable. Like he'll probably be the next man with Crest or Tide or like he's likable. That is a virtual cash register you're standing next to, Nicole. By the way, Nicole, there's a way of getting around that prenuptial agreement. Just sign what he wants you to sign, number one. From the day you say, I do, you start siphoning off $1,000 a day. I'm just saying. A girl's got to take care of herself. Marriage is good, but marriage is not forever. Talk about it with Joan Collins when she comes out here. Just siphon off the money. Okay. So now, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. I love your reaction. So they skipped the Grammys to go to Brazil. Well, Carnival is going on in Brazil now, and that's all kind of fun. And TMZ is reporting that they're thinking about buying a home there, perhaps. And you know who else was in Brazil with Kim and Kanye? Well, they didn't travel together, but Will Smith was there. And Will and there's Will's good friend, Dwayne Martin. What'd you say up there? You stop it, lady. Look, here's the thing. Will and Kanye spent studio time together, so maybe they're cutting music. Dwayne's room and Will's room was upstairs, as you can see. And it's not like one big house. It's, I guess condos or something like that. But out of coincidence, and here's Kim and Kanye's downstairs in their room, and there's Dwayne and Will upstairs in their room. Dwayne and Will have been close friends for over 20 years. So it is no surprise that the friends are traveling to Brazil and enjoying Carnival also. Thank you. So anyway, look, Ozzy Osbourne has never made it a secret that he loves the plastic surgery. He's admitted to getting the face job and the nose job, and there he is with glasses, but he is looking really youthful these days. Ozzy's 64 years old. And Ozzy and Sharon went to a Grammy party over the weekend, and he took off his glasses to show a fresh-faced teenager. I know! A piece of confetti fell from the party we had here last night. Anyway, that's a good 64. You look very, very fresh-faced, Ozzy. So now, Beyonce. I know. Saturday's coming. I'm having a party with snacks too. I'll be watching The Bee on HBO. But if you think that that lip syncing scandal was shocking, wait until you hear about the butt scandal. I'm not talking about Beyonce. I'm talking about David Beckham. Okay. Until he opens his mouth. You know, that voice is as light as a 12-year-old girl. I mean, just shut up. Anyway, the butt featured in David Beckham's new underwear commercial is not really his butt. Well, they show him running through the streets, and the commercial's directed by Madonna's ex-husband, Guy Ritchie. Hot Topics investigated, because they always do. And, and what they found out is that David's real butt, which is the one on top, and they said that David couldn't stay for the whole commercial, so they got a butt double. But to me, he didn't need a butt double. The more disturbing thing in the picture of David Beckham's butt on top is that he has a tramp stamp of his oldest son, Brooklyn. Like why would a man get that stamped there? And now he has like 4 other kids besides Brooklyn. So what's he gonna do about the other kids' names on their bodies? It's just weird. But it's a nice butt package, David Beckham. Doesn't look like he needed a butt double. I'm sorry your schedule was so packed you couldn't even stay to run through the streets on your own commercial. Everybody's so busy. So Madonna, who's 54, she hates when we say her age, so I say it anyway. Madonna, who's 54 and looks lovely. She's famous for keeping up with the latest trends, but a trend that never caught on to her was social media. Eddie doesn't do social media either. He doesn't have Twitter, Facebook, Pingree, none of that stuff. He just watches TV. Anyway, so Madonna started a Twitter account last spring to promote her new album, and she shut it down just 2 days afterwards. She's like, forget this newfangled mess. In the meantime, she's giving it another try with the social media. She has officially joined Instagram, and here's her first post. You don't have to clap if you don't want to. That's an interesting wig, and you look a little fluish around the eyes, and a little bit like Amanda Seyfried when she's ready to kill somebody in some of those Amanda Seyfried movies, right? Doesn't she? I love Amanda Seyfried. Anyway, and she's sipping a martini, which I found odd because, you know, she's all Kabbalah and, you know, holla. I just didn't think that she drank, you know? And she picked one of the best drinks ever, a nice, strong martini.